What's up everyone and welcome back to the Wolfie Reactions. My name is Wolfie and today we're going to be taking a look at the final part of the 4-part Tangle and Whisper Sonic the Hedgehog IDW spin-off miniseries. I can't believe I got that all in one go. First of all, look at this. Okay, before we get into that, let's get started. Now before I get started, there's something I want to talk about, and that's this cover. This is cover A, drawn by Evan Stanley. Hopefully I said the name correctly there. This is beautiful. If only my camera could pick this up without getting a big gleam on it, but you guys can kind of see it. If not, I'll post the pictures up here, maybe, I think, somewhere. You guys need to check this out. This is really great. So, if you guys are new to the videos, here's how these comic reviews normally go. First, I read the book back to you in an overly dramatic fashion, kind of a big story summary thing. I add my own little twist to it. Then I tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I give it a score. Is there anything else? Nope. Pretty much that's all there is to it. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this review. Former Diamond Cutter's base, Clove C. We see our two heroines preparing for an oncoming battle. Whoa, Nelly, I think you really ticked off Mimic this time. Eggman too. Defied him, embarrassed him. So yep. As our camera pans on the last panel, we can see that Eggman has sent a huge amount of badniks for them. Now that shot looks really cool. Seriously though, just one of those bug bots wrecked my hometown. How are we supposed to deal with two? Like this. Whisper loads her weapon and fires a laser shot directly at the giant buzz bomber, causing it to collide into another battleship. Woohoo! What a shot! What are the odds Mimic was on one of those? None. They're decoys. He'll be sneaking into the base now. Then that's my cue. Unless you want to change the plan, I'm happy to fight a horde of robots side by side with you. It's fine. Yeah, but this was your home. It's fine. And with that, Tangle runs deeper into the base, leaving Whisper to deal with the oncoming horde of buzz bombers and badniks. As the giant transporter lands on the dock, we can see Eggman badniks dismounting it. But before they can make it to the base, Whisper fires another shot, destroying the docks to force the badniks into the water. It seems things are getting more dramatic as the battle progresses, as the orange wisp comes out, and Whisper gives it a hug, before turning her attention back to the badniks, firing even more shots at the oncoming buzz bombers. Our scene returns to Tangle as she makes her way through the Diamond Cutter's base interior. As she stands by the doorway, she sees an approaching shadow. Using some quick thinking, she slides her tail across the doorway, tripping up the oncoming stranger. Whoa! Gotcha! Sonic? Hey Tangle, I missed you too. What are you doing here? I'd heard somebody was impersonating me, and that you and Whisper were after him. I came to lend a hand. Okay, how did you get here? On the tornado, of course. Tails is outside right now helping Whisper manage the badniks. And once again, it's not a Tangle comic without her having one of those amazing expressions. As we see from one panel to the next, she's immediately cool fit. Cool! Follow me. We set a trap for that imposter jerk. By all means, show me what you got set up. Ta-da! I don't get it. Is this a trap? Yep. As Tangle hits a button on a remote, a hologram of the Diamond Cutter begins to play.
That was clever. Nice work, Mimic. I foresee a happy future for us. You're pretty good. It makes me feel so much better when you're down there watching their backs.
Was it worth it? Betraying all your friends just to save yourself? And now that Mimic knows the jig is up, he shifts back to his normal form, before answering. They weren't my friends. They weren't even my comrades. They were a means to an end. When their big crusade put my life on the line, it wasn't a difficult choice. Heroes become martyrs. Professionals stay alive. You are the worst! And you're deluded. Friendship is a weakness. Finally fed up, Tangle takes a swing at Mimic, but before her fist connects, Mimic takes the form of Jewel. Tangle, please don't! Cut that out! See? You know it's me, so hit me. Again, this is another reason I really enjoy Mimic. The fact that he can take on the form of different people can make him not only a physical threat, but also a psychological one. He messes with your head. Tangle hesitates but reluctantly decides to take the swing. I'm sorry, Jewel. But as we can clearly see by the next few panels, Mimic was a mercenary for a reason. You've been a useful distraction, but I'm done with you now. But not your shape. That will get me close enough to finish Whisper. Of course, this being the first time Mimic has fought Tangle, he's not used to her unorthodox style, as she manages to get a hit from behind with her tail. Cheap shot! It's a taste of your own medicine. Tangle and Mimic engage in some hand-to-hand combat, but despite Tangle's best efforts, Mimic is still just slightly better than her. You've got some skill. With some training, you'd be formidable. While Tangle's still on the floor dazed, Mimic pulls his knife to finish her off. Thankfully, Whisper arrives right on time, knocking the knife out of Mimic's hand. Blue, you hated violence. Are you going to let her use you on me? Whisper takes a swing at Mimic using the blue hammer, but before it makes impact, Blue shifts out. Aw, Blue. This next few panels I like too. Mimic's giving her a big old cheesy smile like he thinks he got away with it. But nah, Whisper's not done with him. She takes a swing at him anyway, hitting him with the unpowered up weapon. But again, Mimic is quite the fighter as he manages to overpower even Whisper. As Mimic takes aim at Whisper's head, Tangle's tail comes up and envelops him from behind before slamming him into a table. Finally, it looks like the villain has been caught. No, not like this! Urgh. As Mimic struggles, we can see him taking on various forms of different characters, including Eggman and a very scary version of Vector. Stay down or I'll squeeze the evil out of you. With Mimic finally defeated, Whisper takes aim at him. Whisper, listen to me, okay? Don't do this. Badniks are one thing, but this is different. I know what he's done, and it's unforgivable. But if you do this, you'll live with it for the rest of your life. Wouldn't it be worse for him to be caught? To live with the shame of losing to you? With one last glance back to the diamond cutter mask on the wall, Whisper finally calms down. You're right. It's over. The diamond cutters are done. As we look into Whisper's hands, we see that Blue is very upset about this. Hush, I don't blame you. So, what will we do with him? I have no idea, but I know just the genius who would. Later on. I'd rather you have pulled the trigger. I'll bet. I built this test chamber to run models through all sorts of artificial climate and atmospheric conditions. There's no way he's getting out of there. What did I tell you? The kid has an answer for everything. I've heard such promises before. Cages, cells, prison eggs, I've escaped them all. And I'll escape this one too. You'll try, you'll fail, we'll bury you deeper each time. My, if only the others could hear their bubbly little whisper now. You know, if you get out, and that's a big if, maybe you shouldn't? 'Cause Eggman doesn't know you're in here. If you got out and got spotted, he might be a bit cranky with you failing your mission and wasting all of those badniks. I dislike you immensely. Right back at ya. Uh-huh. I'll have this cell transported to the nearest prison as soon as I can. Thank you. Do not open it. No matter who is inside. Thanks for the help. My pleasure. So, your team's been avenged. Now what? Eggman is still out there. Still a threat. Keep fighting until he's gone. Wanna come along? Sure, after I take some time off at home. Jewel will worry. And well, I'm homesick. So I'll see you around, okay? Okay. And with that, ends our Tangle and Whisper miniseries. In the last panel, it shows our two heroes. Tangle being Tangle, her normal silly self as she runs back to her village, high-fiving her own tail, and Whisper heading off to her new venture with Blue in tow. Tangle and Whisper's adventures continue in Sonic the Hedgehog. And that was Tangle and Whisper issue number 4. Wow, okay, so as far as, camera. There we go. So as far as miniseries go, I have to say this one is pretty good. For only being 4 issues, we got a pretty decent story out of it. I will say of the 4 issues, this one is probably the best one because, well, the most stuff happened in it. That being said, it's time to cover what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I'll give it a score. As far as things I didn't like, let me think. You know, I can't say I have any complaints with this one. For the most part, it did what it was supposed to do. It introduced us to 4 characters technically. Well, actually more than 4. It introduced us to a whole bunch of characters. Tangle, Whisper, well, those 2 are already known beforehand, but it really kind of showed us a little bit more into that group dynamic. Jewel, The Diamond Cutters, finally we know more. We actually know Whisper's backstory now. Mimic, who is a good villain, who, by the way, actually, I guess before I finish that thought, this is the stuff I liked, because I can't think of anything I didn't like. Things I liked. Now, we actually got to see the Diamond Cutters and Mimic, who I'm also very glad they actually didn't kill. I was super hoping they weren't going to kill that character and just wind up putting him away, because, again, the Sonic Rogues Gallery, at least in, like, I won't say the games right now because we don't have that many villains in the games to pick from besides the Deadly Six and occasionally Eggman's miscellaneous Eldritch abominations that he keeps bringing back. But like, as of now, the one thing the Archie comics had over as expansive, numerous amount of issues was villains. There were a ton of them. So now we have a growing ensemble of villains. We have Rough and Tumble, we have Mimic, we have Metal Sonic, Dr. Starline, and the list is getting bigger as time goes on. So this is good. I love it when we have a list of villains to draw from. It makes the universe feel more lived in, more expanded. It seems like the world is bigger when there's more villains around doing different things. So if Mimic ever breaks out, which is probably going to happen, as it's hinted at that he's broken out many times before, he's going to be an issue. As we all know, the only real tells is, if you're looking for it, someone in the comment section mentioned last time that he has he has the octopus things on his hands. No matter what form he takes, he always has that as a giveaway, besides also his eyes sometimes being black, and also his eyes being miscolored. He was Sonic, and his Sonic impersonation in, I think, issue 1 or 2, was it? His eyes were black. In this one, his eyes seem red. That could be a coloring thing, or maybe it's just he's inconsistent with his eye colors. He doesn't like know things. But it's crazy how much Mimic actually knows about the people he takes the form of, which makes sense. He's a mercenary, right? He should know these things, or else he won't be able to keep up the veil. You know that he won't be able to keep his disguise if he doesn't know about who he's impersonating. But as far as like knowing, you know, hey, Tails was with a tornado, you know, he's out there. He comes up with very good excuses very quickly too. It's like, you know, it's like if Tangle hadn't known that was him, I'm also glad that Tangle was the one to go in after him, because he still thinks Tangle is dumb and not, you know, onto his shenanigans at that point, even though he technically tricked her 2 times throughout this miniseries. So that was fun. I like that Tangle was actually onto him the whole time. I was like, the first time I read it, I was like, I really hope Tangle didn't actually forget the plan, but I was like, of course not. Whisper had to have gone over this with her a million times when they were coming up with the plan to take down Mimic, that, hey, he takes the form of people, so don't fall for his shenanigans. So that was great. Overall, that wound up being, they both had to wind up double teaming him to take him out, because he seems like he's actually really good with hand-to-hand combat, despite him being kind of, I won't say cowardly, he's very self-preserving, like, kind of, I'll run away to make sure I don't get caught type deal. But it seemed like he was more than capable of taking on either Tangle or Whisper by themselves. Like, he almost got the upper hand on Tangle before Whisper had to step in, and almost got the upper hand on Whisper before Tangle had to step in. So in a way, if Whisper had gone after Mimic by herself, she might have died, and vice versa. So Tangle and Whisper being together for that fight actually wound up being a good thing. Mimic is quite the hand-to-hand combatant, and I really can't wait to see more of him later. Also, there's a small thing here that we should take note of. This took place before the metal virus outbreak happened. Mimic is still inside that cell that Tails has maybe shipped that thing off somewhere. We don't know where. Maybe there's going to be some sort of cool Marvel-esque ultimate, you know, some sort of Marvel ultimate style, not ultimate, Marvel style prison where all the supervillains are taken, you know, and just kind of put there. And then, you know, we have this big story arc where all the villains break out of prison, and it's this huge thing. You know, it happens in Batman, it happens in Spider-Man, it happens in the Marvel series. You know, that type of thing where all the villains are in one kind of, this is for all the bad guys place, prison type deal. So I'm hoping they kind of build on that later. Mimic could be the first. Who knows? There might be more villains there that we haven't been introduced yet. You know, there's this IDW verse is going to expand and get bigger over time. Who knows when we may see Mimic again. Hopefully not too far off after the whole Zombot arc is done. Yeah, I was about to say Mimic was still in that lab during the outbreak. So, I mean, he's gonna be safe in there. Tails said that cell was designed to withstand all kinds of crap, so, like, I don't think Mimic's gonna break out anytime soon, but he's also safe from the Zombot virus. Maybe. If he gets Zombotted, that's one of the worst ones. Well, actually, probably not. I mean, it won't matter what form he takes if he's a Zombot, because he'll still look like a Zombot. He can't disguise the Zombot virus, you know, he can't disguise that part of himself even if he wanted to. And I'm not sure he'd be, you know, nobody has so far who's been infected has been sentient enough to, like, you know, use their actual powers and stuff like that. Besides Charmy, but that's just how he moves. He flies normally. Like, Shadow, when he got infected, didn't use any of his chaos powers. He's kind of just feral at that point. But, what else? Let me think. Yeah, it's just nice to have Whisper get some closure, and we finally get some closure on her backstory. But now we have Whisper she's kind of unshackled from her from her history now. She's kind of free to let the Diamond Cutters go. I saw someone in the comments say last time that they were hoping that the Diamond Cutters were actually gone and they don't come back to kind of cheapen the impact, the emotional impact of Whisper's backstory. And seems like your wish came true. The Diamond Cutters are indeed gone. As far as we know, they're gone. It's heavily implied they died. And yeah, Mimic, it had no other reason other than just self-preservation. That's just the kind of villain he is. So, awesome. I really enjoyed this. I will give this one, I'm trying to think, is there anything else in this book that I can think of? Let me see. Let me flip through real quick. See if we can find anything that I may have missed. No, I'm pretty sure I covered it all. I love the artwork in this. Like, the artwork is always on point when you have Evan Stanley doing the artwork. I believe the comments told me last time, Evan Stanley is a she. I'm not gonna say he. She does amazing artwork. Love the stuff she does, and yeah, this just continues that trend of she just does great artwork. The writing is also good. Everybody's worked on this book. Good job. I have all 4 issues. I enjoyed them all start to finish. For now, I'm gonna give this one. Let me give it an 8 point. I'm gonna bump it up for them not killing off Mimic, even though Mimic deserved to die based on what he did with the Diamond Cutters and how he betrayed them and everything. I'm glad they didn't kill him, because like him being alive just means more potential for more stories later, and who knows. I'm not saying Mimic's gonna get a redemption arc because he's beyond that. He's just evil, but still, who knows what kind of fun things we can have with him in the future. Yes, I'm gonna give this an 8.6 out of 10. 8.6 out of 10. Seems like a very fair review for this one. If I missed anything, if you guys feel I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the Werewolf Reactions if you haven't already for more comic reviews like this one. Be sure to check out the rest of the IDW comic series I've done. I've done more than just Tangle and Whisper at this point. I'm starting to do them all. Not the Archie ones, because dear God, there's too many of those. I don't think I'd be able to cover them all. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to see you all in the next video. So, in the meantime, guys, stay safe out there, and as always, stay tuned.